Okay, thank you all for participating today. We are now joined by Brad Davison, and we'll begin the press conference. Use the raise hand function to indicate you would like to ask a question. When you are called on for your question, please state your name and affiliation first, because both the coach and the player will not be able to see the media. Okay, we'll get started. Jim Polson, why don't you start us off?
Jim Polzane from the Wisconsin State Journal. Brad, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. What's up, Jim?
Brad, you've said over the years that you came here to win NCAA tournament games, and this is a first for you, the first NCAA tournament win. Can you just describe how it feels?
Extremely special. That's why you come to Wisconsin, not only to compete for championships in the Big Ten, but to make a run in March in the NCAA tournament, and especially having that opportunity missed out on last year. This is so special. We're going to enjoy it, but also we know that we didn't come here to just win one. There's a lot more out there for us to get, and we're excited to get back to work. But we're going to enjoy this one tonight for sure.
Jay Portraikis.
Jeff Patrikas, Journal Sentinel. Brad, you guys talked over the last 4 games, 3 of them losses, that you felt you guys were playing better. I'm just curious if what we saw tonight, whether it was shooting, ball movement, keeping North Carolina off the offensive glass, if that was an example of what you guys had hoped to accomplish and what you were talking about.
Absolutely, all of the above. If you look at our last stretch of games, just about every single team is a 1 or a 2 seed in this NCAA tournament. So we knew we were playing against the best of the best. And even though we were losing those games, there's a lot of things that we were doing a lot better. Whether it was offensive motion, setting better screens, better on the defensive glass, all sorts of little things that we value in our program. We were taking exponential steps forward to ultimately prepare us for these moments now. So to have a game where we put it all out there to show and make a little statement, now we get to do it again on Sunday. That's the best part about it.
Okay, George from NBC 15.
Yeah, George Bleck, NBC 15 in Madison. Brad, what kind of statement do you think tonight made with you guys going out, playing your game, changing up your lineup a little bit with 2 bigs, but just dominating in every facet of the game as well?
Man, that's all. I think everyone's going to kind of make up their own statement, but for us, that we're here to make an impact and make a run in this tournament. What you go through in the regular season, all the ups and downs and the hills and valleys, it's what meshes you together and binds you together and prepares you for these moments. Like I said, this is why you come to Wisconsin, for these moments right here. So we're going to soak it up and then get back to work.
All right, Steve from the Associated Press.
Steve McGargy.
Again on Sunday. That's the best.
Steve McGargy, Associated Press. I was just wondering, you talked about how all of your last few games have been against 1 seeds or 2 seeds. How much did it help, if at all, just to get out of the Big Ten, play somebody from another conference, get that fresh start out of league play?
It's exciting. It's fun. Especially being a senior-laden team, we have a lot of guys that have played a lot of games in the Big Ten, against those players and against those systems. So to have the opportunity to play against, a blue blood school team, a program that has such great tradition, we were all really excited for the opportunity. And it was refreshing to play somebody new.
All right, Sam King.
Brad, you talked about the NCAA tournament win, but also this has been a place where Wisconsin has not done very well. I don't think you've ever won in this gym, and I think Wisconsin's 4-42 all time. So just to get Coach Garda's first win in Mackey Arena, to get a win in Mackey Arena, how big of a deal is this for Wisconsin?
A win's a win. An NCAA tournament win is an NCAA tournament win, no matter what site you're playing at. But to see some shots go in and to play the way we did in Mac, hopefully it'll carry some momentum into next year.
Hi, Brad. You talked about, getting away from the Big Ten as a team. How about you personally? Did you notice things out on the court that maybe you haven't seen in the last couple of months?
Just new players, new systems, new offensive sets, new defensive tendencies. So just try to take advantage of them.
Josh Schaefer.
Josh Schaefer, Badger 24/7. Yeah, Brad, I know you've talked a decent amount this year about kind of averages average out, right? And eventually those shots were going to fall for you guys. I guess do you feel like this was kind of an example of that, of getting those shots to fall? And how dangerous do you think this team is when you guys are shooting that way offensively?
You know, we practice with each other every day. You know, whether it was in the summer, fall, or during the season, so we know how talented of shooters we have, especially when people get rolling. That's one thing with shooting is that it's very contagious. So we know how good we can be. We all trust each other and we all trust our shots. So again, we're looking forward to getting back out there together on Sunday.
Okay, Lance Allen.
There you go, Brad. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Lance Allen from WTMJ TV. Just your performance. Was it the Full House spoof? Was it something you ate? Was it just the will to not let this season end? What was it tonight?
You know, probably a combination of everything, but I would say my favorite part was having fans back in the stands. You know, even though it was a limited amount, just the energy they bring. We had a student section there up top. We had our family members there. We had some friends there. And, you know, at the end of the day, basketball is basketball, but that's what it's really about. So just super thankful to be able to have fans in the stands because that's what makes March. Yes, the basketball is great, but the memories and relationships that you get with your family members, with your teammates, and ultimately, you know, even interacting with the fans, it's hard not to get excited and not play with energy when you got fans in the stands. So super thankful that they're back in there.
Raul Vasquez.
Hey, Brad, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Gotcha. Raul Vasquez with Badger Blitz. I was curious, you guys seem to come out with a whole ton of juice, whether it was rebounding well or just kind of being connected on offensive end. Just curious, what would you attribute that to? Where did that kind of come from?
I don't know. Maybe we've been cooped up in Indy for a while, spending a lot of time with each other, whether it's playing games or just hanging out. And we've had a lot of practices, you know, to prepare for this game, but ultimately to prepare for this tournament. So, playing on Friday and being here all week, it's just kind of built momentum, and energy for these moments. So to go out there and play the way that we did, it was awesome. And like I said, we're not finished yet, though. We're looking forward to Sunday.
Lori Nickel.
Hey, Brad. Lori Nickel from the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. A quick two-parter. I wondered how much your defense actually fueled that offense early, especially in the first half. You guys forced turnovers and you had blocked shots. And then the second part, is this the most complete game that you guys have been searching for since January?
Absolutely. I thought our defense was great in the first half. You know, forcing turnovers, block shots, but also limiting them to, one shot and really get on the glass, because then ultimately you can create disadvantages for them and take advantage of getting out in transition and getting easy shots. So definitely, we always say that, you know, good defense leads to great offense. That's something we try to hang our hat on. And then your second question was?
Complete game.
Oh, definitely. You know, I think we played for 40 minutes. There was some defensive lapses there in the second half where their bigs were getting downhill or getting good position. But you know what? In March, when you're up by a lot, teams are going to try to come back, and you gotta take their punches. You kind of got to roll with them, but you got to throw some back. So thought we did a great job of, playing. Might not always play a complete 40 minutes of playing, as complete a game as we can. But like I said, we got to do it again Sunday.
Darius.
Hey, Brad, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
The seniors had, I think, 75 of the 85 points for you guys tonight. What is it about your class? You guys have been through a lot over the last 4 years, 5 years for a couple of you guys. What is it about your class that stepped up in this game with your backs on the wall?
Yeah, I think you hit on the head. We've been through a lot. You know, obviously basketball has its highs and lows, but off the court too, as well. You know, just dealing with adversity and different trials and tribulations is what knits you together and forms you, a together team. And so when you've had your backs up against the wall in the past, you know that when it's win or go home, especially with the senior group, we want every opportunity we can to not only play more games, but to get to spend more time with each other. So we wanted to take advantage of that. And again, like I said, we had a lot of success last year, and we were looking forward to these moments in March, but we didn't get that chance. So to be here now, regardless of what our rank is, regardless of how this year's gone, all the highs and lows, we want to take advantage of this opportunity because we'll never take it for granted.
Okay, if I missed anything, we've got about another 2 minutes. If I could, I got to scroll back up here. Sorry. I'm struggling with this new laptop. I apologize. right, Jim.
You got me, Brad?
Yep, I got you.
Yep, Jim Polzine from the State Journal. There was a stretch late in the first half. You drove and missed a shot, and then Walton got a 3 in transition to cut it to 8. But then you scored the last 8 of the first half. Do you think that was a pretty crucial stretch? Obviously, I mean, going into halftime with single-digit lead as opposed to a 16-point lead is pretty big. I'm just curious what you thought of that last 2 minutes.
You know, I think every possession in March is crucial. You know, that's what it usually comes down to is one possession game. So you got to make sure you're locked in and make the most of every possession. But we always talk about finishing halves and starting halves, you know, the way we want to. So I think every possession is crucial.
Stand again, but Joe Petrikis.
Jeff Petrikis, Journal Sentinel. Brad, I'm sure you guys, the emphasis come in was keep North Carolina off the offensive glass. I know you guys were challenged. How would you rate the job everybody did? Not just with the bigs, but everybody, including you and Trice.
Yeah, obviously, you know, with them playing 2 bigs and having more bigs come off the bench, a lot of their production comes on the offensive glass. So I thought we did a great job. Obviously, our big guys did a great job boxing out. Even Steven getting in there for a couple minutes and boxing out and cleaning up the glass. That's huge. You know, that's the best thing about March, playing these new teams. It's gonna be something different and someone different every game. So I thought we did a really good job of that. I'm not sure what the statistics are, but you know, I thought our effort was really, really good on that end of the floor.
Thank you, Brad. Congratulations on your win, and thank you for your time, and best of luck in the next round. We'll be joined momentarily by Coach
Thank you, guys.
Guard.
Appreciate you.
Please use this time to raise or lower your hand as necessary. Okay, Jeff, I've learned your first name. I still have no idea how to say your last, so go ahead and fire away. Jeff, are you there?
Okay, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I got you, Jeff.
Oh, all right, great. Yeah, Jeff Petrikis, Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. Greg, we talked during the week, obviously, about rebounding. I know you guys hit a lot of threes tonight, but how important was your work by everybody on the glass on both ends of the court?
Yeah, that was crucial. Obviously, they're the #1 offensive rebounding team in the country, and you know, I thought defensively we were really good for the most part. You know, they got to the rim a few times, and but on the glass, I thought by and large we were doing what we were supposed to do, and we got contributions from not only the 4s and 5s, but the others that were able to get into the mix and clean up some of that. But that was obviously big. That was a big piece of our plan.
All right, Tom Oates.
Jeff, or excuse me, Greg. You got me going there with the Petrikis thing. Greg, you know, a lot of people, the players have talked about getting away from the Big Ten. I think everybody loves to get away from the Big Ten at this time of year because it's such a grind. But how do you think? Do you think Brad really thrived being away from the Big Ten and getting his game going the way he did tonight?
Well, obviously he did. I think that, but also I think part of it is, you know, a senior leader coming into this event, and you know, really good players have a tendency to elevate their game at this time of year. And as he mentioned, he didn't get a chance, or the team didn't get a chance to play in this last year when we were rolling along pretty well. So I think that has added an extra incentive that we've gotten to this point right now with postseason play, and we've talked all along that, you know, remember, we didn't have this last year, so let's embrace it, let's make the most of it, let's have fun with it, and obviously he was having some fun out there tonight along with his teammates.
Josh Schaefer.
Josh Schaefer, Badger 24/7. Yeah, Greg, I was just going to ask about Brad and Demetra combined. I think they had 50 for you guys out of the 82 total. Just what did they provide, and what does that provide for you guys when the guards can score like that and shoot the ball from deep?
Well, I mean, those are 2 experienced guards, so they've had a lot of possessions together. They've been in a lot of situations, you know, and obviously given the fact that Carolina was so big at the rim, that we were going to have some scoring from the backcourt, and I felt that was important. We were able to. They got going early. I thought they got into rhythm. They were aggressive, which we had talked about a lot during the week. Stay aggressive, and as they've mentioned, see the ball go in, and that becomes contagious. And I think that they were both, like I said, really determined tonight. You could tell just in their preparation and their and in the look in their eyes tonight that they were going to make sure we were going to take care of this thing once we got that lead.
Okay, Sam King.
Greg, Sam King, Journal and Courier. Even though there weren't a lot of fans, it was a very pro-Wisconsin fan base tonight, which is very uncommon for this venue. Can you just kind of talk about playing in Mackey and the differences from obviously when it's a very pro-Purdue crowd and a tough place to win versus today where it's not very many fans and a lot of Wisconsin fans that are here?
Yeah, I think, Brad alluded to that. We've played most of the year with little or no fans, and I think that atmosphere, that part of the experience for the student athletes is noticeably missing. So when you add just a few into the crowd, that makes a difference. That adds life to the building. Obviously we've been in here earlier this year and had a tight game with Purdue, but I think it just adds to the experience, which these guys, all they've had to go through to pull this off and to navigate through the season in by and large lifeless buildings. I think this is another part of the reward at this time of year to get to play in postseason play, but also have more fans, more noise, more atmosphere in a building. That's why they draw off that, they feed off of that, and that's part of the experience that unfortunately wasn't part of this season.
Okay, George from NBC 15.
Yeah, George Bilecki, NBC 15 Madison. Greg, what statement do you think tonight made for your team? Coming in underrated, underseeded, the mismatches were there in favors of UNC, but for them to come out and dominate front to end and play better offensively in the second half, what was the statement made by you guys?
Well, George, I never get caught up in the seeds. Really, as I told the team on Sunday or even Friday at the Big Ten tournament, I've been part of teams that have been 1s all the way to 12s. And really, once that comes out, that determines what color jersey you're going to wear, light or dark. But you can erase the numbers then. And everybody's, it's so competitive. There's a lot of parity. So for this, I didn't really get caught up in where we were seated or where we weren't seated. We just need to prepare well and play. And these guys did a terrific job of preparing for the 3 or 4 days that we worked on North Carolina. And obviously played a really complete game.
Okay, Laurie Nickel.
Lori Nickel with the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Congratulations. There were so many positives that came from this, the hot shooting, the rim protection, protecting possessions, and you mentioned the complete game offensively. What will be essential to carry over 2 days from now, just 2 days when you take on Baylor?
Well, Lori, I'm going to enjoy this for a little bit tonight before I start watching Baylor, and they're obviously phenomenal. So it goes from playing a really good team to playing one of the nation's best. So to be honest with you, I'll learn more tonight as I watch film about Baylor, but obviously we'll have to play really well. And but I want these guys to enjoy this tonight, as I told them. We'll give them all the Baylor information they want starting tomorrow with practice, and we know we have to play well. We have great respect for North Carolina. Coach Williams has been a phenomenal coach through his career, a Hall of Famer. He had great things to say before and after the game about our program, which I really respect and appreciate his comments that he made to me. And obviously Baylor coming next is going to be a huge task. But I know our guys are excited. They're ready for the next one, and we'll have that on Sunday.
Thank you.
Okay, Raul Vasquez.
Hey, Greg, you got me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. Raul Vasquez, Badger Blitz. I was just curious. When a guy like Brad Davison goes off, he's kind of like the emotional leader for you guys. But obviously, it's never a bad thing when someone on the team can not miss. But I'm curious if it's a little different when an emotional leader like Brad goes off as opposed to maybe anyone else on the team. If it sparks a little plug more.
I don't know if it sparks it more. I think, you know, the team rallies around Brad. It rallies around anybody. We've had other guys that have had those type of games, you know, where the basket looks like the ocean. But they support him. He is our emotional leader. He is our, you know, kind of the cement between the bricks, so to speak, and the epicenter of what we do from that standpoint. But I know our guys would appreciate anybody having those type of games, which they have shown, you know, during the course of whether it's been this year or through other players' careers. It's a very connected group and a very together group, and they, you know, enjoy. There's a lot of happiness when teammates have success.
Okay, Jim Polzine.
Greg, Jim Polzine from the Wisconsin State Journal. You said a couple times in the past couple weeks that you thought the movement on offense was better. The cutting was more sharper. Tonight, I think it looked even maybe as good as it's been the last couple of weeks. Would you agree with that? Did you like the way you moved on offense?
Yeah, I did, and obviously it helps and it makes it always look better when the ball goes in, Jim. So, but I thought we did. We handled. I thought we took care of the ball for the most part pretty well. I thought we kept our spacing. We didn't over dribble, which was obviously an emphasis coming in because of how they can trap and do some double teams and things like that. So we wanted to make sure that we had good spacing and screened well and cut hard, and our players did a good job of sharing the ball. We found teammates at the rim off cuts at times, and we were able to handle some of the pressure that they applied, and we're able to capitalize on that at times. So, yeah, all in all, obviously making shots helps that, but really happy for our team because they played very unselfish.
We've got about 3 minutes left with Coach. If anybody has a follow-up, please raise their hand. I see Lori's hand up.
Coach, this is the first time you've been able to take your upperclassmen to the NCAA tournament. Last year, there was no tournament. Now you have your seniors, especially, you know, the ball handlers. Is that still essential at this time of year, or is it just really just about talent and scheme? I mean, the poise and the veteran, you play the pace you want. It seems like it's an advantage.
Well, you hoped it's an advantage, and obviously you still got to go play. You know, you can throw, experience does matter, but you still got to perform in the 40 minutes. And that's really all we focused on was really 20 minutes before the game. We talked about the first half, how we wanted to play that. And I said, we'll talk about the second half and make adjustments when I come back in here next time. So let's just focus on the 20. And I thought our guys did a really good job. Everybody has stepped on the floor, even, you know, young Steven Crowell for the couple minutes he got in the first half. Everybody was locked in and connected and played well together.
Okay, Jeff.
Okay, I'm here. Sorry about that. Jeff Patrikas, Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. Greg, momentum can be fleeting sometimes because you always say it's all about the next 40 minutes, but is it too simplistic to say this was a little bit of a carryover from what happened the last 4 games when you guys said you felt better about the way you were playing?
Yes, definitely, Jeff. I think I sensed it with how we were playing. I sensed it how we were practicing. Obviously, our league has been phenomenal, and it was such a grind to go through, specifically the schedule we had down the stretch. Obviously, the schedule maker must not like me or us, but it prepared us and it tested us as we came down the stretch of the Big Ten. And thankfully, it prepared us for this and being ready to take steps forward at the end of the year, even though maybe we didn't get the results we wanted. I thought things were trending the right way if they would just stick to it and stay the course. And obviously I'm happy that they did and proud of them for how they have continued to battle through, you know, a strenuous schedule and get to this point and have an opportunity to play here and really proud of how well they played.
Okay, the last question of the night for Coach goes to Raul Vasquez.
Raul Vasquez with Badger Blitz. Hey, Greg, as I mentioned earlier about with Brad shooting and his hot hand that he had, it'll be tough for him and the rest of the team to replicate the clip that you guys made shots tonight. I'm curious what you like that you guys did well that you could carry over to Sunday, even if you guys aren't shooting as well.
Well, I thought we defended pretty well, Raul. I thought we rebounded well. We took care of the ball. You know, we don't really talk about making shots. You know, we talk about defending, rebounding, and taking care of the ball. And then the other parts of the game have a tendency to fall into place. But if we can be consistent with what we can do defensively, and obviously minimizing second shots, which we did tonight pretty well, and then obviously valuing possessions and taking care of the ball. Those are really the three primary, you know, foundational pieces we talk about the most. And because shooting can be fleeting, as we've seen through this year, there's going to be nights that you have a hard time scoring, and then there's nights like tonight. But to making sure we have or are consistent in those other areas of defending, rebounding, and taking care of the ball.
Okay, Coach, thank you for your time. Congratulations on the win and good luck on Sunday.
All right, thank you.
Okay, folks, that's it for the post-game news conference. A transcript of Coach's interview will be provided by ASAP Sports and posted along with a recording of this press conference in the NCAA Digital Media Hub at NCAAveritone.com. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you for joining us tonight. We will begin with an opening statement from Coach Williams and then go to questions. Again, please raise your hand to indicate you would like to ask a question. And when you're called on, to state your name and affiliation. Coach, a brief statement, and then we'll get to questions.
Well, guys, I apologize for blowing my nose in public, but it's I'm a little emotional at times, and the last game of the year is always extremely emotional. I've been very lucky. I've been in the locker room 4 times, 1 as assistant, and 3 as a head coach, where the last game of the year was really emotional in a good way. But before I say anything else, I just thought that Coach Gard, I call him Greg, I think he and his staff did a great job of getting their kids so much ready to play. Every loose ball, it seemed like they got. Every time we gave them an open look, and some of them even not open, they made shots. 13 for 27 from three-point line, and Davison and Trice getting 29 and 21. Those kids played really well, and the big guys fought our big guys and blocked shots and made it difficult for us to score inside, particularly in the first half. But just to congratulate Greg and his staff on the job they did, and congratulate their kids. You know, they didn't finish the season as well as they would have liked. I think it was 3 of their last 4 were losses or something like that. But those seniors, when you get into tournament play, sometimes they really, really want something, and they work exceptionally hard for that. And they performed tonight, and so congratulations to them. My club, I didn't do a very good job. It's been a difficult year, but everybody's had the problems with COVID that we've had. It's been a hard year to push and pull every other day to try to get something done. And but how can you be any luckier than Roy Williams is coaching basketball? I didn't think we shot it very well. We took some bad shots in the first half. I forget now, I think we had, what did we have, 6 turnovers in the first half? And then we all, 6 turnovers in the first half, and we had 8 bad shots. So that's 14 of the same thing. Bad shots and turnovers lead to runouts. And I thought our turnovers and bad shots were the key factor in the game, other than the fact that their shots went in. I don't know what they shot for the game. Well, 50.1, but 48 from a three-point line. So I thought our bad shots and turnovers hurt us in the first half. They out-rebounded us in the first half. I think at the end of the game, they still out-rebounded us 37-34, and not many people have done that. So their coaching staff got them to be more in tune and more focused, with better desire and more alert to go for the offensive rebounds. And got to congratulate them. They played very, very well. I think Greg gets to evaluate his own team, but I thought they played very well. And Roy Williams didn't coach very well.
Thank you, Coach. First question goes to Brendan Marks from The Athletic. Brendan, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hey, Coach. This is Brendan Marks from The Athletic. You mentioned the emotion that comes with the last game of the season. Can you just elaborate on the particular emotion that comes with this group of players, these specific guys, this specific season? What makes this one different?
Well, I think I'm so proud of them as young people. This was a hard year, guys. Come on. A lot of the stuff that you remember from your freshman year in college, none of my freshmen have any memories of anything like that. You've heard me say before, they went to class for 6 days, and that's it. So they haven't had the college experience a normal student can have. They haven't had the college experience of home football weekends and how the pageantry and everything of college football is so much fun. They haven't had the experience of running out of that tunnel with 21,750 people. Going crazy. We had Tyler Hansbrough and Bobby Fraser, and it may have been somebody else. I was thinking we had 3 players here today, but Tyler told me one time he'd do anything to run out of that tunnel again. So I'm so proud of our kids for going through this, and it wasn't nearly as much fun as it's been in the past. I'm proud of that. I'm proud of the fact that we had 7 freshmen in our top 10 or 11 players, and 11 players, I guess, 7 freshmen. You know, and I think that Greg's team with 8 seniors or 6 seniors and 4 of them redshirt seniors or whatever is, you love to have an experienced team in March. I loved having my team regardless of what grade they were in. So it's just, when you coach kids, you have a special bond with them. And this year was really hard on young people, and I was really proud of them.
Next question to Andrew Jones. Andrew, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Coach, early in the second half, I think Davis hit a long three from the top of the key. You just kind of turn and shrug your shoulders. How much of what they did from the perimeter was what you guys allowed them to do, and how much was just that sometimes guys are just scorching hot and there ain't a whole lot you can do about it?
I don't think we allowed them to do anything. I think in sports, you know, in basketball particularly, it's man on man a lot of times. And I think that Caleb and RJ and Kerwin, they wanted to do well. We weren't good enough or experienced enough or coached well enough or all of the above tonight. But it's frustrating, guys. I mean, like I said, we take bad shots and turn the ball over, and that's been an Achilles heel for us all year long. But the kids want to do well. I've never had a kid that wanted to turn the ball over. I've never had a kid that wanted to miss a shot. But you know, it's one of the lowest field goal percentages of any team I've ever coached, one of the lowest three-point percentage, one of the lowest free throw percentage. In some ways, it may have been the worst at all, but kids didn't want to miss them. I know that. But the bottom line is 13 out of 27 for them, 5 out of 13 for us, so that's 8, so they outscored us by 24 points from the three-point line. But their guys made shots. And then for somebody to out-rebound us 37-34, I think there's 2 other times, could have been 3, that somebody's out-rebounded us all year. So you look at that, and then 15 assists, 7 turnovers for them. It's just sometimes the other guy on that particular moment is just better than you are. And that's what happened tonight. At this specific moment, their team, their players, their coaches were better than we were.
Next question goes to CL Brown. CL, please unmute yourself.
Roy, what do you want the young guys to kind of take from this NCAA experience that, you know, down the line that they will learn from in future years?
The same thing, CL, I've always said, when you lose, I hope it'll be fuel for you to say that you don't like this feeling, that you want to have a different feeling, and the way to have a different feeling is to play better. And the way you play better is to prepare better. You practice harder, you're more focused, you're more disciplined. That's what I hope they use it as, is fuel. Basketball can be the greatest game in the world, and when you lose, it's like somebody reaches in and grabs your heart and shakes it right in front of you. It just sort of taunts you a little bit, but I'm coaching basketball. That's pretty daggum good.
Next question goes to Greg Barnes. Greg, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hey, Roy. I'm going to ask a similar question to what CL did, but it's kind of more of a broad one. I realize you didn't get the team to come along as much as you would have wanted them to this year, but given the youth and inexperience of this team, there's some building blocks there from what you saw over the last couple of weeks of the season.
I think so. And, you know, you guys, I hate to, you know, when you start talking about how inexperienced your youth or 7 freshmen, that sounds like excuses, and I don't want to use that, but it is facts. They are facts, I guess is better English. But, yeah, I think that we've got the foundation that can be really something. You know, but kids nowadays have decisions to make, whether to leave early and go to the NBA, and we'll have to wait and see how those situations pan out. But it is something that the foundation here is something that could be really, really special. I remember Tyler Hansborough's freshman year, starting 3 freshmen, start of the season, and then started just 2 down the stretch, but still played 4 or 5. And I said at the end, they're going to be really good. And they were. They won a national championship as a senior, and as a junior, went to the Final Four. But times are different now, and there was a lot of different pulls to them or pulls at them, stresses and pressures that they and their families feel. And so we'll just have to wait and see.
Next question to Kiera Luck.
Good evening, Coach. I just want to know, how have you grown this season, and what will you take away to be a better coach going forward?
I started the season when I was 70 years old, and I feel like I'm 103 right now, Kiara. So it's that's the first thing that's happened. It has been a trying year. It has been a year that 2020 and the first part of 2021 I haven't enjoyed that much. There's been a lot of stresses, a lot of things on, but I think that each year you get to be a better coach, you get more experienced yourself. And this year I focused almost every press conference on talking about turnovers or not the high quality of shot that I wanted us to get, and not running at the pace we wanted to run. And so some way, somehow, I've got to do a better job of getting the guys to make changes. And 29 games, I'm still saying a lot of the same kind of things. So I've got to figure out a way to make that happen.
All right, one final question from Adam Smith. Adam, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hey, Roy, Armando obviously had a explosive start to the second half and really got involved quickly. What do you think took him so long to get going? I think he had one shot in the first half. What did you see happening there?
Oh, he played about 10 minutes, but he had one shot, and I don't know if he had a rebound. He had 1 rebound or 0, something like that. So the first half was pretty ugly, and I challenged our big guys to be more effective in the second half, to be more aggressive, and I think we did that. And if we could have done that for the entire course of the game, it would have been a lot better for us. I don't know that we would have won because they were really, really good, but I think that he did focus much better in the second half, and Garrison as well. I mean, at half, Armando was 0 for 1 and Garrison was 1 for 7, and those are kids that have led our team basically all season long. So that's what I would say. We just perhaps focused on it a little bit better.
All right, thank you, Coach. We appreciate your time today. We'll be joined momentarily by Garrison Brooks. Please use this time to raise or lower your hands as necessary. Thank you. Okay, we are joined by Garrison Brooks. We'll begin the press conference. Again, use the raise hand function to indicate you'd like to ask Garrison a question. Our first question goes to Ross Martin. Ross, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hey, Garrison. Roy was visibly emotional in the press conference. I was wondering what the locker room was like after the loss, what he was talking to you all about, what was he going through, and kind of the emotion of you and your teammates.
Yeah, really emotional because, this is our last game together. Just something tough to realize it's the end of your season.
Next question to Andrew Jones.
Garrison, they out-rebounded you guys. I believe it was 37-34. Rebounding wasn't exactly a strength of theirs coming in. So what did they do to kind of keep you guys from having the kind of success on the glass that you normally do have?
Box out.
All right, next question to Kiera Luck.
Hey, Garrison, I just wanted to know how do you just move on from this and appreciate your last year from Carolina and look forward to your future?
Yeah, personally, just a great experience. Never ended each season how I wanted it to, but just something I'll always be grateful for.
Next up is JB Ricks.
Hey, Garrison, thanks for taking out the time. My question is pretty similar as in regards to your entire career, though, here at North Carolina. What did you take from it the most that you'll be able to use, in your life beyond North Carolina? And what were your shortcomings throughout your career?
Come in with a positive mindset every day, trying to accomplish something. If you work in a group, you probably could. You're gonna accomplish more. And as soon as you get on the same page, you'll be great. But come in, work as hard as you can every day, and the results will be in your favor.
Next question from Brennan Marks of The Athletic.
Hey, Garrison. Roy had mentioned how just with all the COVID precautions and the experience being so different this year, it wasn't necessarily as fun as past years. I'm just wondering, can you sort of elaborate on how tough this year was and is there still validation in having, made it this far?
Yeah, really tough. Of course, we couldn't do as much activities we want together. Couldn't hang around each other as much. Couldn't go out and enjoy campus as much. Just a lot different. But I'm still very grateful. I still had a lot of fun with our guys. You see how hard we worked to get to this point. And you just got to be grateful for times like this. Everybody dedicated themselves to one goal, and you see how far we got.
Next question goes to CL Brown.
Garrison, how much do you feel like the experience of Wisconsin having, basically 6 seniors in their rotation, how much do you feel like that kind of favored them tonight?
That is a lot. You think about how many games they played in, the environments. You also think about how many tournaments they played in. So that all goes into account. I think experience counts for a lot.
Next question for Greg Barnes. Greg, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hey, Garrison. I know the game just wrapped up, season concluded, but have you given any thought to the possibility of returning next season?
A little bit.
All right. Next question to Adam Smith.
Garrison, you guys obviously are a young team with the 6 and 7 freshmen. What sort of foundation do you think this season provided, and what do you think, maybe the future holds for the core of this group? What do you see ahead?
Yeah, the future's really bright for this group. I think it's going to be tremendous for them that they experienced this, got in the tournament, lost. You can always build off this. It's always going to be motivation for us. They can always come back and work really hard, and it's going to be good for them. I think that guys like RJ, Caleb Kerwin, Walker Kessler, I think that's just experience they have, and they don't want to have this feeling again. So I believe that they'll come in and work really hard.
We do have time for another question or two for Garrison. If there are any, please raise your hand. All right. Brennan Marks from The Athletic.
Yeah, Garrison, I just wanted to follow up on Greg's question. I know this game just happened, so obviously there's still a lot of time, but what will your process be for sort of figuring out what the next steps are for your future?
Just sit back and think how much I can accomplish anywhere. Just in case it's going somewhere else or staying here or turning pro. It's just something I always think about. I think about it to myself and just come to a decision.
All right, Greg Barnes.
Garrison, you were kind of dealt a tough hand this year as a senior with so many young guys and all the COVID protocols. What were kind of some of the joys that you could kind of embrace?
Yeah, it's always fun. Coming in, you see guys come in and work hard. You see guys get better. I enjoy seeing guys get better because, that's something that they work out every day. They try to get better. That's something you see everybody dedicate themselves to. Also, I always enjoy the friendships. The environment of us being together all the time and just hanging out all the time. I mean, playing card games, going out to eat, just hanging out at the gym. Like, I enjoy that all the time. I mean, I think we had a great group of guys, so I enjoyed it.
Next question to Ross Martin.
Hey, Garrison, was there any message you had for any of the young players or any of the freshmen who are going to be back next season? I mean, what did you tell them in the locker room? Is there anything that stood out to you?
Man, just everybody always gonna say remember this feeling, but I always tell them, man, just keep your head down and work to yourself. That's always gonna be something that you can do because you control your own destiny and you're in control of your own game. So it's on you to get better.
Next question for Grant Flood.
Hey, Garrison, I'm Grant Flood from Insider Institute. My question to you is, how has it been knowing that tonight you had some fans in the crowd? What were your opinions on that? Were you happy to see some fans tonight?
Oh yeah, it's always great. My family got to come to the game, so I enjoyed seeing them before the game. Glad they got in here and enjoyed that last game here. And I think it's always good to see people in the crowd. I think that's something that people always build off of, crowd energy. I think that's something good.
Next question goes to Adam Smith. Adam, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Garrison, I think Brad Davidson, number 34 for them, I don't think he was averaging double figures on the year, and he obviously kind of went crazy. What do you think got him off? And as you guys were studying then, did you see any of that explosiveness out of his game?
Truly, I didn't see any explosiveness, but he showed it today, so that's all that matters. But he came out ready to play.
Yeah, we have time for one more question for Garrison. All right, Garrison, thank you so much for your time.
All right, thank you all.
Thank you.
That's it for the post-game press conference tonight. A transcript of Coach Williams' interview will be provided by ASAP Sports and posted, along with a recording of this press conference on the NCAA Digital Media Hub at www.ncaa.veritone.com. Thank you for joining us and have a good evening.